All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And Warner Brothers is not in good shape. In fact, their stocks are about to get downgraded. And we're going to take a look at some crazy stuff in regards to Warner Brothers Discovery today. And I also do believe it is time for somebody to investigate Warner Brothers Discovery for fraud, for false advertising, for all of it. I think that they have taken advantage of consumers and moviegoers, and it's time for the studios to be held accountable. And we're going to look at a couple of things here today that point towards that. I'm going to talk about my feelings on this at the end and why I think something needs to be done, because it's very clear that David Zaslav is he likes to deceive his shareholders as well as the general public. But let's take a look at a couple of things here today. So first up, this came into my email just yesterday, and some people might be interested in this. I am not a fan of the Punchline character myself. He already had Harley Quinn. I don't even see why Punchline needed to be created in the comics in any capacity, but it is what it is. But we've got McFarlane Toys is coming out with a 2-pack of the Joker and Punchline, and so this is up for pre-order at McFarlaneToys.com. You can go check that out. But, some people may be interested in this. But again, I don't like the Punchline character at all, but it is what it is. Now, this goes back to what I was talking about. People cannot stop talking about me online, and I think it's freaking hilarious. And these people, all they're doing is giving my channel more viewers and more subs. And what's crazy about this is this was actually in an email. You can see that there was other things in the email. There was another post down below. I didn't include those, but this was something that Twitter had sent me that I might want to check out. And this is the truth. 31 says, Snyder Cult will never escape the delusional allegations. It would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic. No, what's truly pathetic is that people can't stay in their own lane. That people can't stick to their own channels and do their own content. Like, they have to come after me for whatever reason. I am who I am. I'm going to continue to give you my commentary on what's going on with DC, and I'm not going to bend to the will and just bow down to James Gunn and what Warner Brothers is doing. I think Warner Brothers is a twisted company and that they need to be held accountable. Now, this is something I wanted to talk about in a previous video, and I didn't grab the screenshot on it, but it says, James Gunn on Zack Snyder's excitement for the DCU. He said, I knew it already because he, meaning Zack, texted me. He's been incredibly supportive throughout this process. And what he's saying, people, you saw all these headlines by the media coming out and saying, Zack Snyder is excited for James Gunn's universe, the DCU. And that is not what Zack Snyder actually said. Zack Snyder actually said that he is interested in seeing what James Gunn is coming up with, and as long as he treats these characters with reverence and sticks to their, to their heritage, that he's interested in seeing what James Gunn is going to do, that he'll watch it. That does not mean he is excited for it. They twist words to make it seem like something it's not. He did not say that he was excited to see what James Gunn was doing, but that he's interested in checking it out as long as he treats the characters with respect. And so this was all blown out of proportion with everybody talking about it online. It is not true that he is excited for it, but he, again, there are people here trying to make it sound like he's got all this amazing support, and that is not what is happening. Okay, so our movie news and I got a little bit into it today over this, and I'm sticking to my guns on this. After seeing this, I do think it is time for Warner Brothers to be investigated. Not necessarily for fraud, but for false advertising, and where this comes from. Let's look at this. So, DCU update said Nathan Fillion found out he would be Guy Gardner at the Suicide Squad premiere party, which was back long before James Gunn took over. And this is a quote from Nathan Fillion. He said, "We were actually at the premiere party after Suicide Squad, and he was in a huge crowd of people. We saw each other in the crowd, and I congratulated him. Oh my God, that was amazing. It's so great," he goes. "Hey, did Peter Safran tell you what we've got for you next?" I said, "No, he hasn't." He said, No, he hasn't said. He looked around like someone was going to be listening. We were in a throng of people, but he leaned over and said, "You're going to be Guy Gardner." If this is true, well, our movie news said that doesn't make sense. Gunn wasn't even co-head of DC then. He didn't have that power. Exactly. And so our movie news seems to think that he was mistaken, thinking this was after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, not for the premiere for the Suicide Squad. Now, let's say that it was the Suicide Squad, which I believe that this is. Maybe he misspoke, but that's not what he's saying. And if we go by what he's saying, this backs up what I have said before, that Warner Brothers never had any intentions of bringing Henry Cavill back, that they used him as a prop to sell more tickets to Black Adam, knowing they were never going to go back in that direction, that they were just giving fans something so that they could sell more tickets to those final few DC movies. And this is what's irritating about this. Because if this is true, that is false advertising. It is fraud. Because I and many others went and saw that movie multiple times because we were finally happy that Warner Brothers was listening to the fans and they were starting to move into a direction that made sense. They even had, as Henry Cavill himself said, the studio had him announce that he was coming back and did his post. That promotional picture he posted was something that was given to him by the studios to use to promote himself during Black Adam so that they could sell more tickets, knowing full well they were never going to continue in that direction, which I feel like I was robbed. And I'm not saying robbed in the fact that they said he was back and then pulled him away, that I was showing my support for something they never had intentions of doing because they told me they were going to do it. And that, to me, is fraud. It is false advertising. You talk about false advertising with The Flash. I actually got to see The Flash really early, like 6 weeks early. And when I got to go to those early showings, they said, now, the special effects aren't done. And actually, Andy Muschietti's sister came out and said that they had a very special post-credit scene that everybody was going to love when they saw the film. It was a very special post-credit scene. Neither of those things was true. The special effects didn't change. In fact, the movie didn't change at all, other than the fact that we had the credits and the post-credit scene was in there of, freaking Aquaman falling drunk on his ass into a puddle of water outside of a bar. They continue to make a joke out of Aquaman. Like, this is disgusting. This is Warner Brothers. This is who they are. And this actually goes back to August 4th of 2021, which was long before he took over as well. This is Margot Robbie and the Suicide Squad team reflect on script no one could pull off but James Gunn. The Harley Quinn actor reveals a surprising reaction to the script, while DC Films president Walter Hamada says he expects Gunn will return more at DC. He'll be back. We have more stuff planned. This was all the way back in 2021. So for anybody, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter, so I don't think Nathan Fillion misspoke. I do believe this is what they planned, and they're continuing to follow the path that Walter Hamada had started, that they wanted to pull away from the DCU entirely and completely scrap everything. And so I think we were all lied to. I absolutely believe we were all lied to. And the proof is all the stuff that I'm showing you. I mean, these are from actual outlets. Also, we have the final season of Superman and Lois has officially wrapped filming. Congratulations to the entire Superman and Lois team for a phenomenal run. Yeah, so I'm going to be sad to see this show go. I finally caught up. I will be looking forward to following and watching this final season, and I will report on it when it is done. I will give you my review, but this is one of the better DC shows. Now, here is the big news of the day, and this is what is crazy. Everyone says, don't worry, and I can't wait to see the people in my comments still say that Warner Brothers is doing just fine. You are not fine when Warner Brothers stock has been downgraded to underperform. The stock is struggling to remove itself from its early March lows. And this is from the NASDAQ. It says, NASDAQ, Warner Brothers Discovery was downgraded by Wolf Research to underperform from peer perform this morning. The firm currently holds a $7 price target on the stock, which is a slight discount to current levels. Warner Brothers has rebounded from its post-bear note dip, however, now up to 1.1% at $8.56 or $8.56, still hovering near its recent 15-year low at $8.02 on March 5th. The broadcasting name is now down roughly 25% since the start of the year. So just this year, in the past 4 months, their stock is down 25%. And nobody can come in here into my comments or even show any ounce of truth that they're doing okay, because they're not doing okay. And I explained this in a previous video, and why their stock continues to get downgraded is because they don't have a path to get out of the situation they're in. When you're talking to these different companies like Wolf Research and all these other companies, they're looking for signals from the company and a path forward. And Warner Brothers Discovery has not offered any path forward that is going to get them out of the debt that they're in. They are hammering away at it little by little, but they don't have any long-term plan to fix this. And with their stock going that low and this low, and possibly they're thinking that $7 is a possibility, how sad is this for Warner Brothers? How sad is that? This company is on fire. You're going to have some channels and some individuals come out and say you should be more positive on this, you should be more positive on that, and I'm not going to be positive. I'm not going to blow smoke at you guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make things look rosy when they're not. Warner Brothers is in trouble. Warner Brothers is in trouble. There's no excitement around Superman. Gunn doesn't have the excitement behind him. I don't think that movie is going to do well. I would love to be proven wrong. I have yet to be wrong on a major release like this. And I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for Superman to be this amazing movie, but I don't think Gunn can pull it off. He has never done anything in his career that shows that he could pull this off. And so, yeah, things are not rosy. Things are not good today. As things get released and more information comes out, I will continue to do these updates. I do appreciate the support. We will see you on the next video.